Greetings from Spark. I am Barnabas Tiburcius. I am the mentor of this initiative. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Living Spark. Today's video podcast, I plan to do a short summary on a subject titled Deep Meditative State of the Mind. This particular topic was evoked by again another email from a friend of mine who asked me what is my take on this particular subject. Basically, when we talk about deep meditative state, we are talking about a mind-body spiritual perspective. First of all, I would like to classify the two broad categories of classification of the mind, one from psychology, the other from spirituality. In the psychologic domain, there are two great contributors to the classification of the mind. Sigmund Freud classification was heavily based and leaned on behavioral psychology. He classified the mind in three states: pre-conscious mind, conscious mind, and the unconscious mind. This was his classification. Carl Jung, who was a Swiss depth psychologist and who was also very close to Freud, classified the mind based on dream interpretation. And his classification was waking, dreaming, and the universal unconsciousness. This is the classifications that we have broadly and most accepted in the psychological domain. When we come to the spiritual domain, we have a great resource in Vedanta. Mandukya Upanishad, which is a very short Upanishad consisting of only 12 verses, is probably the best source for this classification. Here, the classification runs as follows: waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and a fourth state which is called Turiya. Now, Turiya is something that transcends the normal consciousness that we are talking about and extends to the divine consciousness or cosmic consciousness. All consciousness in the mind-body complex emanate from this particular basic fundamental substratum. The meditative state is still in the mind-body complex. If you take the brain waves as an indicator, you will find that when in deep meditation, we are operating at the theta range, which is 4 to 8 cycles per second, which is an absolutely slow vibration of the brain waves. I have enclosed a graphical representation along this video to indicate the theta function in comparison with other functions. Meister Eckhart was probably one of those people in the 13th century, a great Catholic mystic who had an understanding of the deep meditative state, which he calls the soul in the seeking of God. And he says that the soul seeks God in deep meditation and mindfulness and reaches a point at which it realizes itself to be its own self and returns back. So God has installed a point where there is a clear demarcation between a creature and creator. How do we know that the mind-body complex is the basic substrate on which a deep meditation takes place? Because you are aware of certain things. The effects of deep meditation are the indicator of why we say that deep meditation is still within the mind-body complex. There are 5 indicators on the effect of deep meditation. First is you forget that you are meditating. The very act is totally forgotten. The second one is your mind is going from surface awareness to a more subtle and ultimately a no awareness regime. Thirdly, you meditate for probably say, let us say 20 minutes, but it feels like 10 minutes. There is a time dilation or time compression that takes place. So that is an indicator of a deep meditative state. Next, you have the fourth point is that your entire body is totally relaxed. And you have a fifth point, which is the very shallow breathing that happens within your system. That is why, as a side effect, sometimes when you are deeply meditating, you have to gulp a lot of air. You take in a deep breath at some point of time without your knowledge. These are indications that you are still in the mind-body complex. And so, I think I have basically been able to explain to you how the mental state is located within our own self. I have also enclosed a graphical representation of where the deep meditative state is there in all that what I have explained to you now. Thank you for watching and listening.